I linked to this unified field object of the UFO and put her into the beam. And I video filmed her. She has rapid eye movement. And she is saying, she's convinced that she's seeing Andromedians. Of course, we don't see anything on the camera. But she said, I had no idea they were physical. I had no idea they were so real. And they were touching her. They were so loving her. And they showed her their living computers, their living starships, etc. Very important types of research. It means that these plants, these molecules, together with the UFO, can act as an interface, an important interface, to translate something that is almost impossible to comprehend otherwise. And so we would also like to say and suggest to some of the people here to set up star watching groups, take ayahuasca or other plants, have cameras, have scientific equipment, know the longitude, know the latitude, know the poles, go to heavensabove.com, look for satellites, you know where the satellites are and other objects, space stations. And then call, invoke, heart will, the UFO, have cameras ready. The camera will be the objective observer, perhaps 3 people who act as objective observers. So that the phenomena that is happening at James Gilliland Ranch in America, where anyone can come and often see UFO activity, some of which is not UFO activity in my opinion, but a lot of which is unidentified flying objects. We live in Norway near Hessdalen. We have the Valdres lights, which have interacted with my consciousness and have been then recorded on film. Scientists from SETI in Italy have measured these objects. They are taking on plasma, becoming solid, putting on scandium, which only exists in the local environment, and then they flash lasers at them and they respond. I think the interaction with these objects with psychedelics is the next step and the new dimension. Of course, it's extremely taboo. This is just Indian scientists detect signs of life on the moon, the signature of organic compounds. So perhaps we're beginning to go exobotany. But ethnopharmacology, the investigation of potential extraterrestrial botanies in ethno-cultures, shamanic cultures. The Rig Veda, which is the oldest manuscript we have in our history, describes that the psychedelic plants are brought from somewhere else, from another locale. The structure complex of Angkor, 72 degrees from the Great Pyramid, has 72 complexes and is built on the foundation of the Rig Veda. The Rig Veda, which was a received revelation of shaman Somapas in contact with an ultra-terrestrial or other intelligence. The Rig Veda is considered to be the universal manuscript received by a numinous intelligence and scribed by that intelligence. But that shamanic viewers beheld that living information, interacted with the intelligences, and then developed the advanced artificial intelligence semantics thereof. At Angkor, as you see the Mayan pyramid structure, you have the sacred harmonic numbers of the DNA, you have the white cow and the Stropharia cubensis mushroom, the penis of Shiva. The mushroom is shown clearly as the halo. Here you have the mushrooms growing on the dung of the sacred cow of Shiva. Also the sacred sword cow, southern cow of Egypt. Serapis Bey, the so-called descendant master. The parrot plume, the mushroom, being also the bird that takes you heavenly to the 3 different world systems of the Vedas. In Sumeria, the mush, the tree of life, the Anunnaki. Here you can see the Amanita muscaria mushroom at the base from Sumeria. So the metamorphosis through the Stargate to the Shamana vehicle, as it's called, the Shamana vehicle of Sumeria. A shamanic drum beats in the harmonics of 360 beats per minute, 720 beats per minute, and other harmonics, which relate directly to the 8 Hz cascade. the shamanic plants described, and the priests initiating the harmonic on either side, engaging the tree to the heavens, the shamanic vehicle, Shamana vehicle. So, the base of the tree of life, mush ush, mushroom. The Kargasichin is not really, in that sense, accepted in deep Sumerianology. It's important to transcend what we've had. The tree of life, clearly going through the sphinxes. I'm sure many of you have seen the sphinxes in your very high DMT states, where you are part animal, part human, or part several animals in a post-paradoxical synthesis. Is now quite well understood in terms of the Sumerian cylinder seals derived from the Sarasvati cylinder seals. So the shamanic gate, the waters of life, the angels and demons at either side leading to the shamanic vehicle. As your own unified field object, unifying the objects, unifying Scorpio, unifying the different constellations within yourself in a microcosmic orbit. So the eye, the all-seeing eye, the disembodied eye, at the top of the spine of the Shamba pillar, here the individual is half animal, half human, going through the jump DNA, which involves every other species. Jumping DNA activates the totem holographic genetics of all the other species, including plants. Hadronic space-time machines have been patented, but hadronic space-time machines can only put through magnecular material. That means the human body has to re-engineer itself into a magnecular state to be able to pass through. Before that, it has to be other intelligent objects. Hadronic computers are now being worked upon. They're living computers that actually program from the heart of the atom out. It will lead to a technology where all our houses, we will be looking through them. We get deja vus of that in ayahuasca. So this is just the beginning of tuning ourselves to where we're going. And so our great-grandchildren in the future will have this standard transportation system. The only way they can interact to us is in our own coherent moments when they go back to see grandmama and grandpapa. And so ayahuasca and the UFO can be a place to go. The rapture to the winged vehicle, the Shamana lens. Endohuasca dark road. The induction role of the pineal gland, 6-methoxy-tetrahydrobeta-carboline, that's penoline. 5-methoxy-tetrahydrobeta-carboline is harmine. So, directly related. Penoline is an endogenous neuromodulator. Association of the pineal gland with circadian rhythms. The circadian rhythm is about 72 beats per minute. That's why in our music we use a drum of 72 beats per minute, or if it's fast to dance, in trance, then it is 144 beats per minute, which is a healthy rhythm when you're jogging or dancing. You can always take the integer 108, but the most coherent effects we've seen with science is at 72 beats and 144 beats per minute. Circadian rhythms are stimulated by penoline rather than melatonin. Before it was thought melatonin was the neuromodulator. Penoline and therefore harmine and ayahuasca are neuromodulating and will correct your circadian systems. So if your organs, which each have a circadian clock, are beating out of harmony and are going into schizophrenia, how do you get organic whole green movement there? You go into the Amazon and discover the green spirits. So in these studies, the penoline molecule could play a role in the pathology of depression. Now, the pineal gland is exactly in the middle of the two brain hemispheres. So when the two great hemispheres become one at 8 hertz, that is when your thymus gland is tickling and you're going in the ecstatic sound, or orgasmic sound. Or you're pulling on the prostrated uterus, or eyes up and in and pulling back. That goes directly as an 8 hertz signal to the pineal gland, producing melatonin and pinoline within a minute. 8 hertz produced molecularly, producing the cascade of Sierpinski, the harmonic geometry, machinery of the universe, the machinery of the DNA. So the pineal gland is a direct receptor for the genetic light of 100 units to 100 units per second of between 200 and 900 angstroms of coherent light by pinoline. This is what we've seen in dark rooms. In dark rooms, you see the DNA. Some of you have seen the DNA in ayahuasca. That light is picked up by the receptors of the pineal gland and put into the visual cortex. Sound waves and light waves. So DNA TV becomes your new reality. 8 hertz equals pinoline, carmine. 8 hertz sets up an escape into infinity. It never ends. The Sierpinski sequence never ends, and you have a golden spiral code in that as well. So if you have 8 hertz in your life, like in a static ayahuasca apotheosis or post-ecstatic, that is a moment that is forever. It's your life before life, it's your life after life, because the cascade goes on forever. The pinoline and carmine molecule, 212 to 214 electrons, slides perfectly into the DNA and shares its electrons with the base pairs, triggers 8 cycles per second, which is the replication trigger of the DNA. So the DNA that is replicating continuously at 8 cycles, 250 times in a DNA molecule, in 1 second, becomes accessible to your pineal gland. So doing your shamanic work in dark rooms is also one of the next steps we need to go to. But I caution you, it is also dangerous. We've done experiments with, and I refer to Raul here, with tryptophan. He was using oats. Oats contain tryptophan. In the 90s, we took harmine from the Guna Parmala together with tryptophan. Small amounts produced ecstatic 5-methoxy-DMT. We also produced serotonin syndrome, which is awful. And worse still, we produce bufatonin. That's 5-hydroxy-DMT, which produces hell's fire. One of our